What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Monday night or Tuesday morning. Hey, my Tuesday morningers, congratulations. You made it through Monday. Monday nighters, we made it through Monday too. So let's go, man. The week has officially been kicked off. I'm in a good mood. All right, I got a great show set up for you guys today. In Behind the Feed and Off the Record, we will be getting the Epstein files. In lead stories, the Dems suck. Donald Trump proposes a 50-year mortgage, and the Supreme Court decides on same-sex marriages. In quick news, we're going to talk about Donald Trump getting booed, OF, model Sophie Rain, Blueface, Hazel-E, Chrisean Jr, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, Rihanna, Sweeney, and Megan Thee Stallion. As always, we're going to close out the show with questions of the day, comments of the day, and also social discussion of the day. Also, for those of you who are sick and tired of scam text messages and phone calls, we're going to tell you about a 14-day free trial with Aura. Y'all know what time it is. Yeah! Come on. We get excited for weekends. We got to get excited for the beginning of the week, too. Let's go. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. Come on. Let's go. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, in our first story behind the scenes and off the record, we will be getting the Epstein files. Okay, in lead stories, we're going to talk about the Democrats and Republicans and the government opening back up. I have a great deal to talk about with you there, but I wanted to talk about this first because there is a silver lining in all of this government reopening, and it is the fact that the House of Representatives will have no choice, and it's been confirmed by Mike Johnson that we will get the swearing in of Arizona Representative Annalita. Now, she is a Democrat House of Representative. You know what that means? That she will be the 218 signature to dispatch the Epstein files. There's a petition to dispatch. They need 218. She will be the one to break. We are getting the Epstein files. Now, again, like I said, we're going to talk about the government opening and what, if it was good or if it was bad or whatever. But the fact that Johnson and the Republicans have delayed swearing her in from, I think it was almost in September, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe the beginning of October. And they've said, we're going to swear her in when the House is back in session, which is BS because they could have sworn her in. They've done it before with other representatives. But this was one of the pieces the Republicans were holding back on to use against the Democrats. Well, now they have no choice but to reopen the government because they got everything that they wanted from the Democrats. But as a result, they have to sign in Arizona Representative. We will be getting the Epstein files, people. I've been on the phone talking about all this government stuff. I have sources, not only in entertainment, but political sources as well, too. This is what is going to break. Now, having said all of that, you know we cannot underestimate Donald Trump and the Republican Party. In lead story, I'm going to tell you something about Ghislaine Maxwell. And from what I've heard, I cannot say it, but from what I've heard is the delay in swearing her in was because Trump and the Republicans, they have something in their back pocket to cause more delays from this Epstein file being released. That is off the record. That's why we put it in this section. So I cannot say what it is because we don't know if it's going to come to fruition or whatever. But there, of course, as you guys know, Donald Trump will do anything in his power to not have those Epstein files released, although he'll say he doesn't care and there's nothing in there and it's just a Democrat hoax. But this was what they've been working on for the past 3 or 4 weeks behind the scenes, is when they swear in the Arizona representative, they're going to have another thing that comes through. But I have been sworn not to talk about that. We will get enough signatures and get the Epstein files released unless Donald Trump pulls his one Trump card, no pun intended. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. Our first lead story. Senators reach a deal to end a 14-day-long U.S. government shutdown and secure SNAP funding through next year. Okay, we are going to get into this now. For those of you who follow me daily, you know that literally yesterday, I made a case that the ball is in the Republicans' court. I don't think the shutdown is going to happen. Democrats have put their foot down. They're holding the line. And now it is in the Republicans' court. It's going to affect, it is affecting big corporations. Airlines are hurting. They just lost a lot in the elections. It was a blue wave. The ball is in Republicans' court. They're stubborn. I don't think it's going to end soon, but I like that the Democrats are finally standing up to Donald Trump. That is what you need to do. And I always make the analogy of President Xi versus President Zelensky. You get two different Trumps. China stands up. Trump is a different person. Zelensky, he gets ridiculed in the Oval Office. You need to stand up to Trump. 24 hours later, boom, we get a deal. I am disappointed in the Democrats. Now, I'm going to play some videos for you, and I'm going to read out some things to you to hopefully get my point across on why I do not think it was a good idea. Before I present my case, for those of you that might be new here and don't know me, I have been on welfare 2 times. I have been in situations that I had to shower at the YMCA. So when I tell you that the Democrats holding firm, and I tell you that I know it's hard for the people on EBT and SNAP benefits, I know because I was those people. So I understand the sacrifice and how hard it was for the Democrats and for the people who are suffering. I get it. I understand. Even though understanding that, I still wanted the Democrats to move forward because they're standing up for healthcare reform. And it's a lesser of two evils. One, you hold the line and SNAP, EBT, and of course, federal government workers, but you're doing that as a sacrifice so people can have more affordable healthcare. Now, stopping that, and I think it's beautiful that SNAP got funded, but now there's people who won't afford their healthcare or can't afford their healthcare. I was just watching a video of a lady that has cancer, and now she cannot afford her medication. And she literally said and broke down in tears that she knows she's probably not going to be around till next year because she cannot afford her medication now because her premium has gone up. So it's a lesser of two evil. SNAP, EBT affected, airlines affected, healthcare affected. Democrats needed to hold the line and make the sacrifices so that the Republicans would have to wake up and think about the people on SNAP, EBT, and healthcare. So, like I said, we're going to go through some videos. I'm going to start off with Harry Stinson. Hope I'm pronouncing his name right. This is a young Democrat. I think he's around 23, 24 years old. I really, really like this kid. If you guys remember during the King protest, when Donald Trump put out that video with a crown and he was in an airplane in a fighter jet and he was dropping number 2 on people's head and there was one person in a crown that he dropped it on, this is the kid, Harry Stinson. And the reason why I highlighted him when we're talking about the King protest is that King for a Day protest is that I loved that finally the Democratic Party was tapping in to the younger generation. One of the main reasons why Donald Trump won is because him and his team were able to tap into young males, young white males, podcasts, streamers, Aiden Ross's audience, Joe Rogan's audience. Those guys, not only is it good to tap in to get their votes, but they're the ones who are in their 20s and 30s. They're the next wave of politicians that are coming along. So last year you saw a big wave of that. now that the MAGA and Donald Trump and they see all this immigration and tariffs and all of these things, slowly you started seeing some young white males, especially streamers and online kids, started turning against Donald Trump. That's why Donald Trump chose to put him in that fighter jet with that crown on. And now listen to Harry. The Democratic Party just lost him. And he is just a representative of a bunch of other young 20, 25, 30-year-old white males that are like, what? I came over here to fight with y'all against Trump. I was with him last year. I came over here to fight with you guys. And now we come to bend the knee? This is crazy. This is the demographic we need. Take a listen to Harry.
Well, there you have it. Democrats just caved and bent the knee to Donald Trump and the Republicans. The government has been shut down for 40 days, and one of the main things that Democrats were asking for is an extension of the ACA subsidies so people have affordable health care that they can access. And the Republicans left it out of the bill, and we agreed. We agreed to that. People's premiums were doubling, tripling. And now the agreement is that we hope Republicans vote on it in December, which doesn't even guarantee a vote in the House. It is pathetic.
If you just rewind that and put it on mute, you could see in his eyes how disappointed he is. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing, I'm just going to read out to you. Well, not read out to you. I'm going to just show you a tweet from Gavin Newsom. Now, regardless if you like Gavin or not or whatever, I'm just going to show you a couple of people in the Democratic Party that are not standing with this. It's not everybody in the Democratic Party, which is one of the things that bothered me as well, too. But we'll talk about that a little later on. Anyways, California Governor Gavin Newsom tweets out pathetic. Just one word, pathetic. You heard Harry use that too. It's just pathetic. And it just irks me to my soul that just last week, everybody was like, yo, the Democrats stood up to the Republicans. They have a blue wave. They got this. They won this. Jersey, New York, or whatever. And then 1 week later, it's Democrats are back to being pathetic. Like, I just don't understand. Let's hear from Senator Bernie Sanders, which we knew that he was one of the ones literally standing by this, holding the line. Of course, he was disappointed. Here is a video of Bernie. Take a look.
Tonight, 8 Democrats voted with the Republicans to allow them to go forward on this continuing resolution. And to my mind, this was a very, very bad vote. What it does, first of all, is it raises healthcare premiums for over 20 million Americans by doubling, and in some cases tripling or quadrupling. People can't afford that when we are already paying the highest prices in the world for healthcare.
Now, here is another little silver lining that I'm going to play a video. I'm sorry, I don't have this woman's name, but I just saw it online, and I wanted to play it for you guys. Now, this was like a tentative vote. She's going to explain to you that there is another final vote, and there has been whispers that there are some of the 8 Democrats that might want to take back their vote. And there's also, I heard, some Republicans that might want to take back their vote. So the small silver lining in this is, yes, they have reached a tentative agreement, and yes, they have a kind of like a pinky promise that there's 60 senators that are going to vote, but it's not final. It's not done. Take a listen.
Update from the Senate floor. It is 10:20 p.m. This is after those Senate Democrats crossed the aisle to vote with Republicans to end the shutdown. There is another vote that has to happen to finalize this decision. So if one of these people is your senator, you need to start calling them and telling them how you feel about them ending a shutdown without getting any concessions. Word on the street is Senator Kayne and Senator Rosen are both willing to consider voting no on the final vote.
All right, here is a picture of the 8 Democrats that broke rank. I'm sure you must have heard of them by now. Now, instead of just necessarily calling out these 8 people, which a lot of people have done, and I get it, I just want to talk quickly for 2 seconds about the bigger picture. Regardless of who these 8 people are, the bigger picture is that the Democratic Party is not as united as we thought. Now, we knew they weren't, but over the past month and a half, they appear to be more united. We're not going to stand for this. We want the healthcare. We want this. We're going to stand together. We're going to do that. We're going to support each other. And it started to look like the momentum was gaining. Now, this is why a lot of people like Republicans and like MAGA, even some Democrats who don't like them, respect that they stand united at all times. Even if it's something that they know, and I know that they don't agree on, they're like, all right, Donald Trump said it, we're going to do it. And that is what makes their party so strong. It's embarrassing, and I agree with Harry and with Gavin that it is pathetic. Behind closed doors, if these 8 people want to yell at everybody in the Democratic Party, oh my gosh, we should break, you say whatever you want, and you come back out and you put on a united front. You don't have a party that you're going to want people to vote on in the midterms and then vote on in 2028, where you say we're going to make a sacrifice together for the next 40 days. And then all of a sudden, 8 just are like, no, we're going to do our own thing. And then for the rest of the night, you hear a bunch of people in your own party say, this is pathetic, that's pathetic, that's pathetic. This is the thing that irks me about this. Okay. Let's go on to a video from Scott Jennings. Scott Jennings is an anchor on CNN on my favorite show, Abby Phillips. And the reason why it's my favorite show is because Abby brings in, sorry, I said Abby Phillips. It's Abby Phillip. She brings on Republicans, independents, and Democrats, and they sit at a table and they argue back and forth. Now, you guys know that I like watching Fox and I like watching CNN because I like to see both sides and then draw my own conclusions. I think more people should do that. But to save time, you just have to watch Abby Phillip because there are both on there. Now, Scott Jennings is a hard-nosed Republican. He can literally sit on Fox all day. Listen to what Scott Jennings has to say about the Democrats' decision. The Republicans are laughing at them, and it's embarrassing. Take a listen.
But one good outcome here is that Republicans finally got their way. People will get their SNAP benefits, just the way the Republicans have been voting since day one. I'm shocked, frankly, that Democrats have been voting to defund SNAP. It's pretty shocking, really, that they held these SNAP beneficiaries hostage. And now, here at the end of it, again, it's all political. They got nothing. They held these poor people hostage and literally got nothing.
All right, now we're going to go to a video from Aaron. And Aaron is going to tell you about something that Donald Trump did in the middle of the night. Now, I've been telling you guys repeatedly that this is Donald Trump's play card. Same thing I told you with the No Kings protest, and that he was allegedly supposed to pardon Diddy. He ended up getting into a back and forth with Diddy and his team, and then he ended up pardoning Santos instead. But Donald Trump will do things, for example, during the No Kings protest to take attention away from something that's going on that's negative. So he'll pardon somebody and that will kind of break up the media. Or reverse, if he's doing something and there's a lot of news going on and he's doing something that he doesn't want you to hear, he'll slide it in at the middle of the night because now he knows, oh my gosh, the government is open. That's going to be the headlines. Donald Trump pardoned 70 people in the middle of the night. Well, actually, he's probably did it before, but he just let us know during the middle of the night. Take a listen.
We have some major news overnight that Donald Trump does not want you to know or talk about. As everyone is talking about the government shutdown, Donald Trump quietly pardoned over 70 of his close associates, including Rudy Giuliani and others, for anything related to trying to overturn the 2020 election. And then this morning, we learned that Ghislaine Maxwell is being waited on, quote, hand and foot.
Donald Trump pardons Rudy Giuliani and others involved in a bid to overturn the 2020 election. Late Sunday night, Trump's pardon attorney Ed Martin hit X with a major post. He revealed that Trump went ahead and pardoned Rudy Giuliani along with a whole squad of folks accused of trying to overturn the 2020 election. Martin even threw it back to an old message of his from May where he said, "No MAGA left behind." Looks like he meant that for real. See how I told you how united they are? They'll even they pardoned the J6ers, and now they're pardoning people on the legal front. That's how united they are. According to NBC, the list of pardoned names is deep, and it's around 77 people. We're talking about Trump world regulars. The A-team of Stop the Steal era just got a presidential get out of jail free card, even though most of them weren't even convicted of anything. Now, the joke here is that, as you guys know, Donald Trump can only pardon federal crimes. They could also one day face state crimes. So we'll see about that. Okay, now the last thing I want to tell you about is Ghislaine Maxwell. I told you guys a little bit about that in the off the record and behind the feed. Listen to what Aaron has come up with, who is a pundit from Washington. Take a listen.
According to a new bombshell whistleblower report that shows that Maxwell is preparing to file her commutation petition with the Trump administration, and she is being waited on by those at the prison facility right now. This is after she met with Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and tried to absolve Donald Trump of any wrongdoing. He doesn't want you knowing about these, so spread the word. Another major news story that Trump does not want us talking about, and that's not only is Ghislaine Maxwell receiving preferential treatment, but it's gone so far as she has now received access to a service puppy behind bars. New whistleblower documents handed over to House Democrats on the Judiciary Committee show that Maxwell is receiving extremely preferential treatment.
Special treatment, a service dog, all this pampering, and now her team is working on the commutation, meaning that she'll get out of jail, but she'll keep her charges. We know that he was talking and potentially thinking about a pardon. Same thing with Diddy. Like I told you, we were the first ones to break it to you was George Santos, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Diddy. Just know that there are going to be things coming up with Diddy and Maxwell. Remember, you heard it here first. There's a lot of things that are going on in closed doors, behind closed doors with the Trump administration. And these things might come to fruition before the end of the year or early 2026. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comment section below. All right, our second lead story. The federal House director confirms that the government is working on a 50-year mortgage plan after Trump posted comparing current loan terms. As of now, there's been no official statement or press release from the White House. Details on how this plan could actually work is still unclear. While the 50-year mortgage might make monthly payments smaller, experts say it also means homeowners would build equity much slower. After a certain point, the savings between a 40 and 50-year loan become minimal. Following the 2008 financial crisis, Congress passed an act which created a mortgage rule and the rule said that they will not allow mortgages past 30 years. That means for Trump's idea to take effect, laws would need to change. Otherwise, lenders could only offer the 50-year mortgage to non-qualified mortgage borrowers, which often come with higher interest rates. Okay, so this was kind of like thrown in last week. We talked about this yesterday. Also, Trump is kind of like floating around the idea of maybe giving you guys back $2,000 from tariffs. And then they came out and said, well, it's not going to be a $2,000 check directly from tariffs. It could be maybe in the tax brace, or it could be this. Listen, y'all, two things. A, Donald Trump is a master musician. He will throw up smoke screens and say things to just get into the media while he's working out things behind the scenes. We just told you that in last story. Second of all, a 50-year mortgage term is not advantageous to the homeowner. The whole point of wanting to get a house and being a homeowner is not just to say that you have a house, it's actually to own the home. They're saying, according to reports, that home ownership is becoming later on in life. And they're saying, I think if I'm not mistaken, the average homeowner now, or first-time homeowner, is around 38 to 40 years old. That means your mortgage is going to pay off when you're 90? You're not really building any equity. So this is not a great idea. I'm not saying that maybe in some circumstances and some exceptions, it could be okay, but don't get tripped up in this. Don't get excited about this, because like even the article said, A, the laws that will have to be changed, and B, like I started off by saying, it's not advantageous. You always want to take, yes, a payment plan that you can afford, but you also want to take a payment plan that doesn't have as much interest. In some cases, you might end up paying more in interest than you would for the actual home. Like, for example, the home is like $500,000. Interest over 50 years might end up being $750,000. So your home that's $500,000 costs you $750,000 or maybe even $1 million in interest. Does that make any sense? Just wanted to clarify that, because a lot of people are, I also have both sides. Like, oh, look at what Trump is doing for us. He wants to send us $2,000. He wants to, give us 50-year mortgages. He's comparing it to Roosevelt that gave 30-year mortgages. Again, I'm not on either side, but you have to do your due diligence and find out, not the headlines. Trump is a master marketer. Like him or not, he is good at that. And he will put out headlines knowing that this is a social media era, and you'll see the headlines and be like, oh, he loves me. He's doing everything for me. When you get into the weeds of things, it's really just him talking ish on his True Social. That's it. Go into the weeds and find out if this will be good for you. Okay. So my opinion, as somebody who's actually very good in finance, as you well know, okay, had a national brand, this is not a good look. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, in our third lead story, the Supreme Court rejects call to overturn its decision legalizing same-sex marriages nationwide. Okay, now, depending on how you feel, you're happy or sad about this. I'm not here to argue this point. I'm here to just tell you guys what is going on. I think the bigger picture here, depending on what side of the aisle you are on this subject, what I like is that the Supreme Court finally, the conservative Supreme Court is not overturning another almost super precedent issue. This is what I like. I'll read the article and then give you more details of what I'm saying. The Supreme Court has shut down a push to overturn its historic ruling that made same-sex marriages legal across the U.S. The justices kept it quiet, refusing to take on an appeal from Kim Davis, the former Kentucky court clerk, who wouldn't issue a marriage license to a same-sex couple after the 2015 decision. Davis was trying to get the court to toss a lower court's order for her to pay $360,000 in damages and attorney fees to a couple she denied a marriage license to. Her legal team frequently referenced Justice Clarence Thomas, the only one of the 9 justices who has called for same-sex marriages ruling to be wiped away. Oh my gosh, Clarence Thomas, I tell you. So the great thing about this is, first of all, it wasn't that it got to the Supreme Court and then there was a ruling. Like I said, they didn't even take it. And sometimes somebody will write a note like, we didn't take this, but I think this, or I think this. No justices said anything, meaning that not only did they not take the case, that they slammed the door on this case. Like, we're not talking about this. We don't want to take it on. This is done. Ironically, I was making a point yesterday or the day before, and I brought up this case because I knew it was coming up. And I was saying, you never know. They'll probably take it, and knowing how things have been going, they might overturn it because they have been overturning a lot of stuff. Abortion rights. What's the other one? The affirmative action. So they've been overturning some things that were what they call super precedent. So again, I'm not here to talk about if you like this decision or not. Just saying this is one of the first times in a long time with Donald Trump's Supreme Court that they're not taking something that's a super precedent. Let me know what you guys think about the comment section below, in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, in our first quick story, Donald Trump gets booed at the Washington Commanders game on Sunday. Here is a little clip. Take a listen. All right, this video has been going viral. I have seen it in literally 10 different angles. Here's this angle, here's that angle, or whatever. Was unequivocally boos. I follow right wing and left wing. What do you call them? Pages. Sorry, and on both sides, I think they both agreed that he was being booed. It was just unequivocal. Okay, there's some people that are like, no, there were cheers. He was being booed. On the flip side, Barack Obama was at a basketball game and he was hailed and clapped for. So that's kind of like why this is more of a bigger deal than it is. One thing I will say is that Donald Trump went into the Fox booth and he was talking with the commentators. He did a play-by-play where, as you know, they were lining up. Oh, let's watch this. Oh, it's 3rd and 17. They should throw. They should do whatever and run. Oh no! So he was literally commentating on the game. Now, they're saying that he was the first sitting president to attend a regular season game since the 70s. I like this. Again, forget about the politics for a second. I like that Trump does these things even in the face of getting booed. And this is what I have always said is the one credit that I can for sure unanimously give him. And I think more people should realize this, especially on the Democrat side, is that Trump, although, yes, he can have a king profile and he does think that he's above everybody, even if he does think that, he understands that going on a Joe Rogan podcast, sitting down with Aiden Ross, going to the Super Bowl, going to a Sunday night football game, and going into the booth and talking. And this is a sitting president giving a play-by-play on a football game on a Sunday night. That is such a smart strategic move on his part. And like I said, the boos, whatever, okay, cool. That's undoubtedly that happened. Immigration and food, SNAP or whatever, that's where those boos come from. But I'm telling you, the people in his base love that. And even some independents and even some Democrats are like, I don't like this guy, but it's super cool that he's into football. It's super cool that he's hanging out here, you know? So just wanted to throw that in there. Like, you might be laughing at the boos, but he might have the last laugh because he is engaging with the people. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, in our second quick story, Sophie Rain will send money to families affected by pause SNAP payments. She said, since the government isn't funding SNAP, I'm here to help. Now, I wanted to play this because we have spoken about Sophie Rain a couple of times, her alleged incident with Shaquille O'Neal. We won't talk about that. I heard that's actually still ongoing, but we'll put that to the side. We'll leave that for behind the feed and off the record. But I did want to play it because y'all know that I keep it real. And when people are doing something wrong or when there's some alleged stuff going on, we talk about them and we drag them. But I feel enough people don't highlight when people are doing something good. So I want to do my due diligence and let you know that Sophie is trying to help people out here. Now, with word that the government might be reopening, I don't know if she's still doing it or not, but it was still a good gesture. Take a listen.
The government shutdown still being in effect, I realize that there's still a lot of families struggling out there, especially with the SNAP funding being paused. And I used to live off food stamps, so I get it. I've been in that position before. I'm very grateful for how far I've come, and it's only because of you guys, so I would love to use my privilege to give back.
All right, in our third quick story, Blueface and Hazel-E confirmed they're officially dating following his prison release. TMZ reports that things are heating up between Blueface and Hazel-E, with sources claiming the two have been spending a lot of time together since his release. While they're still getting to know each other, insiders say they're officially casually dating. Excuse me, what does that mean? What does officially casually dating mean? Officially casually dating. Now, y'all know that we've been covering Blueface since he came out. I think maybe like one day that he wasn't on this show. I'm very highly entertained by him, Chrisean and Jaden, and now Hazel-E. So we did show you guys with Chrisean, Jaden, and we showed you I think around 2 days ago with Blueface and Hazel-E in the club, alluding to being his side chick. Now they're making it official. There is also a video that they are filming, and they put out some leak behind the scenes. Oh, actually, you know what? We did talk about Blueface yesterday. I showed you guys or told you about the video that he was filming, and there was some side chick, and I was like, how could Blueface have a side chick if he has no girl? So yes, we have been talking about him, I think maybe 7 days straight. Anyways, all of that to say, Blueface is kind of like Trump in the sense that he's a master marketer and he understands how to use social media, and he's been out of jail, and every day he's on all the blogs and on this show. He's trending and he's making money for this. So this Hazel-E thing, I don't really believe it, and I think it's really all to promote his new song and new video. Casually dating. What? All right, in our fourth quick story, this is interesting. Commentators claim that Blueface's father was caught secretly trying to swab Chrisean Jr. for a DNA test. Social media users believe Blueface's father, Jonathan Porter Sr., may have been attempting to collect a DNA sample from Chrisean Jr. during a recent visit, allegedly while Chrisean Rock was distracted. Clips circulating online show what viewers think was a slick move and him hiding the swab, though no individual has confirmed whether a DNA test actually happened. All right, I don't want to play the video because I looked at it and it just seemed kind of a little sus to me. Like he's in the background and there's like a little like white pipe. So I don't know. I don't get into things that I don't get a confirmation from or a source tells me. So this is just something online. There's too much AI stuff out there. But if it is true, a lot of people have speculated that this is not Blueface's baby and that Chrisean just, she's been doing her thing out here and it's really not his baby. So it would be interesting to finally find out what is going on. Now, if his father is taking this swab and doing this, I'm not too sure if that makes it official, if he has to stop paying child support or whatever. I think you would have to go through the legal channels, but maybe if this is true, they get the swab, they do their own thing, they find out, okay, he's not the kid, and then it would be easier for him to go and spend the money now to say, hey, I'm going to give my DNA, etc., whatever, and go ahead. So I wanted to just put it out there, as you know, I always want to do my due diligence. I got to stay on top of everything, but this is literally like a off the record, behind the scenes. This is actually where it should have been. So we'll keep an eye on this and see. Potentially, we might find out in a couple of days if Chrisean's and Blueface's baby is really Blueface's. All right, I love this here. In our fifth quick story, Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and Rihanna attend Brandy and Monica's The Boy Is My tour in LA over the weekend. Love this, love this, love this. There was some video, but there's a lot of music, copyright music that I can't play for you guys. But I really love this. As you guys know, I'm a big Brandy and Monica fan. I have their hoodie from when they did their Verzuz that doesn't fit me because the cut is horrible, so I can never wear it on the show. But when there was all that drama between Brandy and Monica, remember in the first day of the tour, I showed it to you guys. I tried to wear it and I can't. Very sad. But I love, love, love that this tour is bringing all the early 2000s, 90s, like crew back together. LL Cool J, Mario, OG Genesis. Like there's a lot of like that old school kind of feeling back. And I'm just really happy about it. I really, really, really want to go to this tour. Anybody on that crew, I know y'all are watching. If anybody wants to send me a ticket, I'm available, man. You know what I'm saying? Any one of them, I want to go. So hook a boy up. All right, in our sixth quick story, Blueface put out this video. And again, just like Sophie Rain, when somebody's doing bad stuff, we talk about it. This is a really nice, heartfelt video. Blueface put out a video with him and his daughter, and he said, "The most important girl in my life. If she says she doesn't like my tattoos, that would be the only way I'd ever consider removing them. Blueface posts this cute moment with him and his baby girl and shares what it would take for him to remove his face tattoos. Here's a video, take a look.
Thank you.
Building. I'm already out.
You like my tattoos?
Raise the one building. We did that.
That mouth.
All right, in Sydney Sweeney news, our 7th quick story. Sydney Sweeney's latest movie, or latest film, Christie, suffers the 9th worst box office opening in film history. Now, normally we don't cover Sydney Sweeney stuff here on this show, but when you have a celebrity that big and you have the 9th worst opening ever in Hollywood history ever, that's crazy work. The film has opened to 1.3 million people at the domestic box office, placing it in the top 10 worst domestic films for a film in more than 2,000 theaters. Sydney Sweeney's boxing biopic, Christie, has opened with just 1.3 at the domestic box office, planting it at number 9 on the worst domestic opening in history for a film in more than 2,000 theaters. I don't know too much about this movie, but I looked at the trailer, and I'm not going to come out and say this because I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way, but Sydney is known for something, and this movie didn't highlight anything of that. So I think that's one of the reasons why it didn't work. I'm sure you guys could read between the lines and know what I'm trying to say. All right, in our 8th quick story, Megan Thee Stallion's defamation lawsuit against online commentator is scheduled for trial next week in Miami federal court. Possible jury selection questions include, have you heard of Daystar Peterson, professionally known as Tory Lanez, before today? That's just an example of question for the juror. Here is what is going on, all right? The lawsuit accusing online commentator Milagro Cooper of intentionally inflicting emotional distress and cyber talking, and she is alleged to be working with Tory Lanez to harass Megan, including and by saying that she lied when she testified in his trial. The complaint filed in the Southern District of Florida alleges Cooper worked with Tory Lanez, who was serving a 10-year prison sentence in California, and his father to employ automatic social media robots, otherwise known as bots, to attack Megan Thee Stallion and her supporters with hate and malicious statements online. The judge who is presiding over the trial ruled in February that Megan's claim against Cooper extended far beyond mere negligence. They paint a picture of an intentional campaign to destroy Megan's reputation. U.S. District Judge rejected Cooper's dismissal motion and said in her statements that Megan's alleged defamation goes far beyond casual name-calling, basically siding with Megan. Judge Reed also rejected a motion to squash from streamer Aiden Ross and also ordered him to be deposed the week of November the 10th. Streamer DJ Academics also testified in the deposition. So we have been talking about this for the past couple of weeks. Academics was deposed twice. He recorded it, called him out, called out Rock Nation. And yes, this is a suit from technically Megan Thee Stallion, but it's really brought by Jay-Z, Desiree Perez, Rock Nation. We've talked about it. They allege that Drake had something to do with it, helped paid for this attack against Megan Thee Stallion. Tory Lanez orchestrated it. His father helped him, etc. Now, Megan even spoke about this when her recent video just came out, Lover Girl. And she said, don't pay attention to the hate online. You guys notice anytime I do something online, there's always hate. There's always hate. This is what she's alluding to. So they're suing Milagro for orchestrating and having all of these people come together in defense for Tory Lanez before he actually went to trial to try to scare Megan away from testifying. It didn't scare Megan away. It didn't scare Jay-Z and Rock Nation. And they're fighting. Like I told you yesterday, Jay-Z's MO is to just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going, which I totally disagree with. I think another case even if it's one, it makes Megan look bad. I don't understand why Jay-Z cannot get that through his head. I just don't understand. His mission is to keep you in court, sue you and sue you and sue you and keep winning and keep winning and keep winning. He keeps his foot on your neck. And I think he gets a kick out of it being like, yo, I'm Jay, I'm a billionaire. Yo, don't play with me. These are my lawyers. I can't do this, can't do that. Bro, if you win this case and Milagro has to pay, let's say $1 million, let's say she gets fired, whatever, it's just going to cause more hate for Megan. You're not going to change the perception of Megan. A lot of people feel like she lied on Tory Lanez. A lot of people feel that she shouldn't have testified and put him in jail. A lot of people feel like Tory Lanez should be out. And you're not going to change that perception making a lover girl track with Klay Thompson. That's not going to help. What would help would be for Megan Thee Stallion to stay out of the headlines. You need to put Megan away for like a year. Just be like, yo, and I love Megan Thee Stallion. She's one of my favorite female rappers of all times. Like, I love Megan. She's natural. I'm talking body-wise, naturalized, whatever. She doesn't have co-writers. Like, everything about her is organic. From body, lyrics, attitude, everything. Like, she is everything. I love Megan. But this Tory Lanez thing, and I'm not even taking a side if she's lying or not or whatever. I'm just saying it really caused a lot of hate. And you guys have been trying so hard to change the perception. And this is not going to help. It's not going to help. You guys should have just let the hate campaign and the bots keep on going because everybody has hate all the time. That's what the online is all about. So anyways, that's just my 2 cents. Deposing Aiden Ross, who's the biggest streamer in the world, deposing academics is just going to make them hate Megan even more, hate you guys even more. So you might win this case and you don't need the money. But your perception is going to be, yo, this guy just keeps his foot on people's neck and keeps bringing them to court. Anyways, as you can tell, this irritates me, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to everyone's favorite segment, comments and social discussion of the day. I always mix up the 3 of them. All right, before I get to comments of the day, I have a very important question to ask you guys. I can't speak today properly. I have a very important question to ask y'all, all right? Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? What? You don't think so? Well, let me answer that question for you, okay? Yes, they are if you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trendoutloud to get your 14-day free trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number, house number, or why your inbox is filled with spam, here's why. Listen, there are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data legally. They do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. Now, how does this happen? You go online, you sign up for something, you buy something, you order something. Your information is in the background. These companies sell it to data brokers. Data brokers are supposed to keep that information secure and use it to be like, oh, Trent likes sports and Trent likes podcasting, and then they know what to, sell or add or put on my Instagram or whatever. What happens when they sell your information, it gets in the hands of these bad actors, and these bad actors take it and they send you spam emails, spam text messages. They call you. There's a lot of house stealing going on where people are taking over deeds. It is scary out here, and I hate it. That is why I talk to you guys about Aura every day. If you do anything online, which if you're watching this, you are online, you must click on the link below and sign up for Aura. It's a 14-day free trial, and they could show you better than I could tell you. Your information is 100% out there, and they could take it off for you and make sure that it stays off. Okay, so I'll put the QR code up in a second. I just have some more things to tell you. For all of those reasons why, this is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and out louders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you automatically, not manually like you would have to do, but automatically removing your information off of these sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web. You get real-time fraud alerts if your credit card, banking, social security number is ever found on the dark web. A secure VPN, antivirus, password manager. They also have a US-based customer support round the clock. And in the event that anything ever does go wrong, Aura also includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package, which means what? You are covered on every single basis, and you can get it free. Click the link below, QR code beside me, take out your phone, your camera, follow the links, sign up, and see the information you guys have out there, and Aura will take it down for free, okay? Now, that is Aura. I have no super thanks today. I'm sad, guys. You guys are not liking the show or what? What's going on? All right. Even though when we don't have super thanks, well, every day we go to the comment section. This is our new thing right now. We go over here. We're going to sort from newest to most recent, and then we're going to show you guys. We're going to pick the comments like a raffle, okay? Some people are like, which comments do you pick? You don't read out good or bad. It's random, all right? So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to go here. We're going to go down, and I'm going to just stop and read this one right here. Oh, my gosh. Mars. I literally just randomly picked Mars. My homie Mars, out louder from day one when I had 40 views. Mars was watching and commenting. This is crazy that I literally randomly clicked on Mars. Love this. Mars is an out louder, obviously. What up, Mars? Mars says, my Jamaican nickname is Pretty and I love it. If you are around my Jamaican fam, that's my name. Mars is the one that everybody calls me, even my fam. The kids in kindergarten, grade 3, couldn't remember Marcel, so they all got together and asked if it was okay to call me Mars, and it's stuck ever since. Spin-off nicknames people call me are Marzipan. Hey, that's my name for you. I want to know, Mars, please let me know if anybody else calls you Marzipan, because that was my nickname. Marspala or Marcy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the other name right. Anyways, I'm jealous if somebody else called you Marzipan. I don't know why. I don't know when and how I started calling you Marzipan, but anyways, shout out to Mars. So this was a question. Hold on, let me just take a screenshot of this. That was a question from yesterday's, I think it was yesterday's question of the day was, what is a nickname that your family should stop calling you? I think most of the comments were pretty much like, this is what my nickname is, and I actually love it. Even if it's an annoying nickname, if your family's been giving you this or calling you this since you were a kid, you end up loving it. My mom used to call me Pukiaka when I was a little kid. I guess it's like Pookie. I don't know where the Yaka came from because I was a cute kid. So yeah. Anyways, Mars, thank you very much for that comment. And I'm still shocked that I just landed on you randomly. Okay, we're going to get to social discussion. But before that, I'm going to remind you guys how to give super thanks since I haven't had one in 2 days. Super thanks is a way for you to give back to the show. If you want to donate, sponsor the show. At the bottom of every video, you'll see a thanks button. You'll see like, remix, whatever. If you're on your phone, you might have to scroll a little bit over. You'll see that thanks button. Just click that thanks button. There is a dial. You could choose the amount that you want to give back. Any amount is appreciated. So thank you very much for that. And here is YouTube explaining how you can give a thanks better than I can tell you.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section. All
right, this brings us to social discussion of the day. All right, this one hits really close to home for me, and it's from Angel Reese, so this makes me sad. Mona Leo corrects Angel Reese after she says therapists only tell you what you want to hear, despite never going before. Mona Leo said, you'd be surprised. Take a listen.
No one will understand what we go through. Exactly. Or nobody will understand you talking to a therapist and paying a therapist and telling them your problems. They're going to tell you what you want to hear.
Right.
But like, they're not really ever going to really understand, especially at the level that we're at.
You're saying that about therapists?
Yeah, that's what I feel.
Have you been to therapy?
No.
Okay, this literally pisses me off to no end. Therapists don't have to be able to identify anything that you're going through. If they do, it's a plus, but they don't need to. Therapists are just like doctors you're a medical doctor. They are just like a trainer at the gym. They are just like a mechanic. They understand the brain. They understand how it functions, and they understand how to help you through a situation you're going through. And or a psychiatrist can actually also prescribe you medication, just like how a medical doctor can, after they put you through a series of tests to help you get through whatever medical condition you're going on. This drives me nuts. I'll give the example of a trainer at the gym. You can go to a trainer at the gym and say, I would like to lose some belly fat. I would like to gain leg muscle and build up my arms. Because they understand the functions of your body, they understand nutrition, they understand weights and building, they can write you up a program for you to follow to gain or to lose whatever you would like. The trainer themselves doesn't have to have those things. Your trainer could be tall, short, lean, fat, muscular, male, female, it doesn't matter because they understand how the body works. That's exactly what therapists do. You can go to them with anxiety, bipolar, depression, etc., etc. And they're not there to identify and understand that you are a female basketball player at a high level that makes millions of dollars in this, whatever, blah, blah. They understand and can help identify what condition your mind is in, and or if you have any mental health issues that you might not be aware of. They are trained doctors. And once they understand your brain functions, they can either A, help you deal with whatever you would like to deal with, B, diagnose you with some sort of mental diagnosis, whether it be bipolar, whether it be by depression, anxiety, and there's a whole list of over 400 diagnoses. And asterisks, being diagnosed with something, and as you guys know, I have openly told you I've been diagnosed with being bipolar. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with me. That just means that that is how my mind works. Like how a medical doctor will give you an analysis and say, you have diabetes, or you have cancer, or you have high blood pressure. And once you know these things, then you live life accordingly when you know you have high blood pressure or when you're diabetic, etc., etc. So we have to get rid of this stigma around mental health and about therapy that you're sitting down on the couch crying and the doctor just wants to take your money and sit down and cry with you and identify with you. That's not what therapy is about. Therapy is about understanding your brain, their functions, and after a couple of sessions, you should be able to be diagnosed with something, and they will show you tools and give you tools for you to work on after, just like how your trainer at the gym will. You got to do the work. No one's going to hold your hands. I did a lot of work to come to the position and the place that I'm in with my mental state. I chose not to deal with my bipolar with medication, but I learned to deal with it through talk therapy. I know how to identify when I'm at highs and when I'm at lows and to get myself back to a regular state. And I had to do the work. Just like when I had a trainer, when I was modeling and I wanted to be on the cover of Men's Health, I got a program and I followed it and I did the work. So no therapists are not there to tell you what you want to hear. I despise this and I love you, Angel. So please, somebody in the Angel Reese camp, please get this to her and anybody else that might think about this when thinking about therapy. Okay, let's get to the memberships. For those of you who haven't signed up yet, please sign up for the Out Loud memberships. With the Out Loud membership, you get loyalty badges, emojis, member-only live streams, member-only videos, early access to new videos, and member shoutouts. Also, you get access to my vlogs, which is my favorite thing to do in vlogs. We get kind of like how we talk about social discussions or question of the day. We get very, very deep. We talk about life issues. It's not about any political stuff or about entertainment or whatever. We just talk about life. I deep dive. I record it on my phone and we talk. And it's a cool crew that we're building in the Out Loud community. So make sure you sign up for those vlogs. And I keep saying that I'm about to do this vlog from one Out Louder that has asked me some advice with her son, and I'm going to get to it tomorrow. I'm very sorry, but I will get to it, okay? First link below, you'll see the join button above. When you get to the membership page, you will see different levels of membership. You'll see Out Loud, Family, Proud, MVP. That's kind of just like a tip menu, deciding on what amount you want to give back to the show monthly. We first only had one value and people are like, hey, I want to give a little bit more. So those are just open to whatever you would like to give. They all give the same access. It's up to you which one you want to pay for the month. All get the same access. It's all one Out Loud family. All right. So just make sure you sign up today. Other than that, please let me know what you think about today's social discussion in the comment section below. All right. This brings us to question of the day. Okay. I think y'all are going to sound off with this one. Who wins in a 20-song Verzuz? Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Drake, or Jay-Z, Rihanna, Kanye West? Now, first of all, that would literally have to be like in a stadium and it would be like the biggest Verzuz of all times. Second of all, it would be a little bit of a waste having that much talent, that much greatness come together for one night and you only hear 20 songs from each camp. That would be crazy work. It should be at least 50. I know the rules of Verzuz are 20, but you would have to make it at least like 50. You don't have to do the whole song. You could just do like a minute and a half. Okay. Now, let me stop deflecting and get to the answer. My answer, and I love both of them, is Wayne, Nicki, and Drake. I'm sorry. And a lot of people are choosing them and they're saying like, yo, Jay-Z doesn't have any hits. He doesn't have songs. And that's stemming from the 2021 Twitter spaces when he was there with Alicia Keys and he was like, yo, nobody could touch me on the Verzuz stage. Nobody could touch me. He didn't say no rapper. He said no artist can touch me, which is crazy because your wife alone could wash you in a Verzuz. But Kanye is super strong just on his own. Plus, he could bring in production from other things that he's done. Rihanna herself is a beast, 1000%. And I disagree with people. Jay, he doesn't have necessarily like number ones. I think, if I'm not mistaken, his only number one is him and Alicia Keys in New York. And it's not him alone on the song, where I think everybody else probably has their number ones where they are the solo artist. But I just think in a Verzuz where it's really about cultural impact and the crowd versus, you're talking about a hip hop community. In that aspect, Jay holds a lot of weight and so does Kanye, but I think Wayne just, the mixtape era of Wayne, forget about the hits, just what he could do, just that impact alone. Then Nicki, female rapper, because don't forget, in Jay, Kanye, and Rihanna, there's no female hip hop there. And Nicki got hits. Rihanna is dope, but culturally, in Verzuz, Nicki is the secret weapon because they don't have a hip hop act, a female hip hop act. And then there's Drake. Drake has more number ones than all of them. Drake is the hit factory alone. Plus, he has a lot of cultural relevance. Although that I've left the Drake fan club. I don't like what's going on with him in the past year, which y'all know. But I just think Nicki is a secret weapon. Y'all know that Nicki, for me, is top 10. Not top 10 female, she's top 10. Her monster verse alone, where she was on a song with Jay-Z and Kanye West, she drops that. They just lost 2 or 3 points because she destroyed them on whose song was Monster? Was it Kanye's song? Anyway, she was on there with Jay, Kanye, and her, and that was one of the best hip hop verses ever of all time. She was on there with 2 greats, and she destroyed them. So Nicki is a secret weapon. Y'all are thinking that Kanye's a secret weapon? No. On a versus stage, not on the radio, on a versus stage, trust me, Wayne, Nicki, Drake. It's not even that close. Like, it's close, but it's not as close as you think. Y'all weigh in now and let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. All right, y'all. That was it for today's show. Yeah, I thought we had a good show, man. It was very political, but, just showing my versatility, you know what I'm saying? I could talk music, I could talk mental health, I could talk entertainment, I could talk movies, and I could talk politics. What up? Round of applause for me. All right. Before I let you go, I just want to remind you of 3 things. Please send me some super thanks, man. Come on, let me feel the love in the room a little bit, y'all. It is at the bottom of every video. You might have to scroll aside. You'll see that thanks button. And you decide whatever amount you want to give back. I will read out your comment if you want to the next day. Also, the first link below, sign up for the Out Loud membership. It is really fun. You become an official Out Louder. You get a little star beside your name, and everybody knows that you are an official Out Louder, so sign up today. Lastly, second link below and QR code beside me. Do not forget to sign up for Aura. If you are watching this, that means you are online and you are vulnerable. Make sure you sign up for Aura so that they can protect you. Now, I just want to let you know of all the ways to keep up with the show. For those of you who like to listen, like on podcast platforms, just want to let you know that we're available on every single one of them. Just go to any podcast site, type in Trend Out Loud, the show will pop up. Do not forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And just like YouTube, we upload daily, 7 days a week. Now, if you're like me and you like video while you're watching your shows, head on over to YouTube and type in Trend Out Loud. Not just 2 things, 6 things I'm going to need you to do. Hit that subscribe button and hit that like button because we need to get the algorithming. I'm working hard over here, okay? Third thing, please try to comment below. I do the show with you. You guys are my co-hosts. I ask you guys a lot of questions. I ask you your opinions. And if I don't get any, then I look a little cray-cray out here, okay? And I don't want to look cray-cray. For those of you who don't want to join in on the conversation, I don't want you to feel pressured. Totally understand. But what you can do is let me know where you are watching from. Before I go to bed every night, I go and look at all the comments. And my favorite thing to see is people from around the world watching this show. So let me know which country or city you are watching from. I get a kick out of that. For those of you who are really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones. It helps in growing the channel. And that is what I'm here to do, to grow this channel. All right. New media. Please sign up for the Out Loud membership. And 6, use that thanks button below if you want to give back to the show. Whatever amount you would like is greatly appreciated. For those who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms, and it's always the same handle, Trend Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, please try to follow us on our show page, The Trend Out Loud Show on Instagram. We post all our videos over there, everything that we're talking about, mostly everything that we're talking about. The great thing about following that page is on YouTube, there's a lot of restrictions, a lot of things that we cannot play for copyright reasons or for swearing, etc. We play and we upload the full video on Instagram. So it is a good way to encompass and get the full 100% focus of the show. You get to see what we're going to talk about daily. And by the time we post the show, you're caught up and ready. Okay. So make sure you follow that IG account. That is it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Or if you're starting in the morning, I hope you guys have a great morning. And I will see you same time, same place tomorrow. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace.